The search for two missing children in Nova Scotia is now in its third week. Nova Scotia RCMP say they are determining their next steps after another ground and air search for 6-year-old Lily and 4-year-old Jack Sullivan took place over the weekend. The siblings went missing from their Lansdowne station home May 2nd, and police say they have found zero trace of what happened to these two children. For more on where the investigation stands this morning.
Imagine this. A quiet morning in a tiny remote town. Two young kids, Lily 6 and Jack 4, vanish without a trace from their own home. No footprints, no signs of struggle, just silence. 3 weeks later, after a massive search, they are still missing. What happened? And here's the question no one dares to ask out loud, or did their own mother and stepdad have something to do with it? This is the mysterious case of Lily and Jack Sullivan, or Owan, a story that has puzzled police and terrified a close-knit community in Lansdowne Station, Nova Scotia.
Breaks my heart. I mean, ever since the Friday morning, when we noticed that the children were gone, immediately jumped in the vehicle, surveyed all the areas, many dirt roads, many culverts as I could, and waited for the police to get there.
When somebody goes missing and we become engaged as any police officer, not just major crime, we will look at all the details and make considerations on the information we have, right? When it comes to a missing person, we have to automatically consider.
Hook number 1, tease the mystery. But wait, just days before the children disappeared, hidden trail cameras caught something strange on a dirt road near their home. What did they see? A stranger? A suspicious vehicle? Or was it someone from inside the family trying to cover their tracks? Today, we're breaking down every detail. The timeline, the search, the family's story, and why the police have quietly shifted their focus from missing kids to something far darker.
And they happen to just get out that sliding door and we can't hear it when it opens. And they were outside playing, but we weren't aware of it at the time. It was possible. I want them home. I want to hold them. And I want them home. What happened was we woke up, I heard them playing in the next room beside us, and I was drifting in and out of sleep, and they're not the type of kids that we tell them not to go outside on their own. We always make sure that we're out there with them, watching them, and they happen to just get out that sliding door and we can't hear it when it opens. And they were outside playing, but we weren't aware of it at the time, and the next thing we knew, it was quiet, and we get up and I tell him, my partner, Daniel, I tell him, do you hear the kids? And he says, no. And we get up instantly. We're looking outside. We're looking everywhere, yelling for them. And I instantly just call 911.
Make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss the latest updates on this case that might just blow it wide open. May 2nd, 2025, Lily and Jack vanish from their trailer on Gerlach Road. Their mother, Malaya Brooks Murray, says she woke to the sound of their chatter, then silence. The kids were playing, and then nothing. Their stepdad, Daniel Martell, recalls seeing Lily in their bedroom that morning. By 10 a.m., they were gone. The backyard fence was broken and led directly into dense forest. Yet despite days of searching by over 160 people, police, search dogs, helicopters, no trace of the kids was found. It was as if they simply disappeared into thin air.
I'm still holding out hope. I don't know why they didn't find anything from Jack's pull-up to her backpack or any of her belongings at all. They just haven't found anything.
Not just on me, but on everyone. That's what I asked for. I asked for that so early on, and there's not many places that do it in Canada, so they're flying somebody in.
Why do you think you need to do that? Do you think they don't believe you?
I think their side of the family doesn't believe me, and I just want to clear it up for everyone. Clear it up for everyone, not just the people online making.
Hook number 2, doubts about the parents. But here's what's strange. The timeline and the parents' stories don't quite add up. Lily was at school on April 28th and 29th, but her mom says she kept them home on May 1st and 2nd because of a cough. Why would a mother suddenly keep them home just before they disappear? And Daniel says he searched for hours on May 2nd. But how could he have missed any signs? Some locals whisper the family seems too composed, even too perfect. Are they hiding something? Then 3 weeks later, the RCMP made a surprising move. They visited a neighbor named Melissa Scott, who has 7 trail cameras spread across her 40-acre property.
I did mention to them that I was very happy to see them and glad that they were canvassing a little further and looking at trail cam footage. And they did respond saying that they probably should have been around earlier. Possibly they are wondering if they didn't go missing earlier, or maybe somebody who isn't local to the area was around. It's scary, especially not knowing what happens. We definitely keep our kids a little closer to home now.
Just 5 kilometers from the Sullivans' home. They demanded footage starting April 27th, days before the disappearance. Why go back that far? Melissa says the police want to rule out local vehicles, strangers, or even someone connected to the family. They admit they should have collected this footage sooner, possibly a sign they missed something crucial.
Well, thank you, Ian, but the searchers have searched really hard for 6 full days. They've combed that area back and forth. They had dogs, they had drones, they had helicopters. People around here, I think, are generally in agreement that they've done everything they could possibly do to find these 2 little ones. And so it's not a surprise today to anybody. I don't think that this has been scaled back. We knew we're going to have to accept this sooner or later. And today was the day, and I think the words of Staff Sergeant Curtis McKinnon there saying, we're not going away. We're not going to give up until we bring little Jack and little Lily home. I think that means a lot to people, that they're still going to keep looking for these little ones until they bring them home.
Hook number 3, the chilling possibility. Could these cameras hold the key? Maybe footage of a stranger lurking near the home, or worse, someone from inside moving around before the kids vanished. And there's more. Malaya has left town, blocked Daniel on social media, and neighbors talk about a party house and strange comings and goings. Something darker might be lurking beneath the surface. We spoke to Glenn Brown, a retired RCMP K-9 handler with 26 years of experience. He says it's nearly impossible for children that young to vanish into the wilderness without leaving a trace. Search expert Robert Kurz says 95% of kids that age are found within 6.6 kilometers if lost, and most are alive within 24 hours. But here, nothing.
On day 12, police issued a release saying they were following up on more than 180 tips and identified 35 people for formal interviews. And on Friday, RCMP announced the search would resume this weekend. More than 100 volunteer searchers are back in the sparsely populated area 140 kilometers northeast of Halifax.
So if they didn't wander off, then what happened? Host. The RCMP's major crime unit has been involved from day 2. They're no longer just searching for lost kids, they're hunting for answers or someone responsible. Daniel gave his phone, took a polygraph test, but questions remain. Why the broken fence? Why no footprints? Why no signs of distress? And why the silent, intense police focus on a few days before the disappearance? The truth about Lily and Jack's disappearance could be hiding in plain sight, captured by those trail cameras, or buried in the tangled stories of those closest to them. If you have any information, no matter how small, please contact the Pictou County RCMP or Crime Stoppers. Every tip could bring them home. Share this video, keep their story alive, because the longer they stay missing, the darker this mystery gets. We'll be following this case closely, and as new footage and facts emerge, you'll hear it here first. Until then, stay safe, stay alert, and remember, sometimes the hardest truths come from the people we trust most.